يا إخوتي هيا نمضي سويا، 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 يا إخوتي هيا نمضي سويا سويا سويا، يا إخوتي هيا نمضي 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 سويا، بسعي حثيث لأجل البناء
بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, indeed all praise and gratitude be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As such, we ask Allah azza wa jalla to send his peace and blessing upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, upon his entire family, his noble companion, and those who follow him in his footsteps to the day of judgment. Brother and sister, I'd like to welcome you to the Plain Truth TV. I'm your host, Abu Muhammad Ali Al-Ansari. I'd like to welcome you with Islamic greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have with me brother Muhammad Abu Jannah. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So inshallah tonight we'll do a short reminder. You know, Ramadan is over now. It's back to dunya again. So you know, we're gonna do a short reminder basically to remind each other Ramadan is over. We still be on the guard, you know. So inshallah I will go first, highlight some points to remember after Ramadan and stuff. So the first point I want to remind you and remind myself about thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allowing us to make it to Ramadan, to benefit from Ramadan, to perform as much good deed that we can do in the blessed month of Ramadan. Now that it's over with, we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because a lot of people, you know, they went to Ramadan, they didn't finish it. Some people didn't even start Ramadan and Allah took them back, you know. So it's a grateful thing. It's a great thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enabled us to make it to Ramadan. So we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. Second point is that we should beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept whatever good deed that we do, you know, as a Muslim. Looking at the example of the prophets, especially Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, when Allah commanded him to build a Kaaba for his worships, when he finished building with his son Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam, what did he do? He prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept the ibadah. Even though, you know, he did it, no one can force Allah to accept anything, you know. So we beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it from us, even though if he commands us, you know. This is to show our humility, our humbleness in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Third point to remember is let us reflect on our behavior after Ramadan. Did we improve, you know, or did we go back our old habits? Really sit down and think about it. Throughout this whole Ramadan, why about your characteristic improved to you? Improved, you know? Check those things and look at your behavior and see from those you can tell some signs if your Ramadan was accepted or not. If you keep going backward, then you know that there's something going on. If you're going forward, then you know that, you know, there's improvement there. Perhaps this might be a sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted your ibadah from you. Fourth point to remember that Allah is not worship only in Ramadan. We shouldn't be a Ramadan Muslim. When Ramadan come in, we just go in, you know, back it up, do everything we can do, but next day, when it's Eid, they just drop everything. We start drinking, smoking, watching porno, doing all those crazy things that we restrict ourselves from doing in Ramadan. Now, after Ramadan is finished, we're going back doing the same thing. We really have to ask ourselves, so what was the purpose of fasting this whole Ramadan? It's like basically you work for 30 days. When it's time to get paid, you just waste it, everything. You blow everything out. So we should remember that Allah is not only worshiping Ramadan. Ramadan comes and goes, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remains. And fifth thing to remember is that all the good deeds that we used to do in Ramadan, since Ramadan ends, it doesn't mean that we have to stop doing it. It doesn't mean we have to stop going to masjid. We have to stop praying extra nawafil prayer that we used to do, or zikr, or remembering, you know, remembrance of Allah, or reading the Quran. Most of us sometimes we read the Quran only in Ramadan. It's really a shame that only 12 months out of the year, we take 1 day, 1 month to focus on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the rest of the month, we abandon the book of Allah. So we should remember this. Ramadan doesn't mean that, you know, we need to stop getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For every day, it's an opportunity for us as a Muslim to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we should take that, you know, and strive hard to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And 6th point is, we should set up some kind of goal, some kind of a goal to basically to achieve. This will keep us on the track. Let's say like, you know, working on some certain characteristics that you want to develop. I want to develop patience, work on, you know, improving yourself to be patient. You want to control your anger, work on that to improve on that. You want to be tolerant, you want to be generous, because these are characteristics that we learn in Ramadan. Ramadan embedded in these characteristics in us. So we should continue those things in developing and improving ourselves to make ourselves better, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or getting ourselves rid of bad habits that we used to do. Smoking, drinking, listening to music, doing all fornicating, all those haram things. We should work on ourselves to improve ourselves and check ourselves every month where you are, what level you are, you know. These are things to basically to keep us on track. Number 7, Shaitan is back on the grind.
Oh, yeah.
So as you know, Ramadan, the shayateens are changed after Ramadan, they release. So brother and sister, we need to be on guard more to actually get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to falsify ourselves, to do as much good deed that we do, and to do a lot of morning zikr and the evening zikr to protect us from all the fitna that's going around, you know. So we need to be on guard. Those are the basic points that I basically wanted to highlight. I'm going to pass it on to my brother Muhammad Abu Jannah. Please, share some reminder.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I mean, alhamdulillah, it's well said, can only put it in quick quotation, but everything is well said. Alhamdulillah, I mean, in the Ramadan, it's gone, and there will be another one to come, but doesn't mean we Ramadan Muslim, yeah. So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Of course, we try to do more in Ramadan naturally, because it's a month of Ramadan. But logically thinking, you can also say that we should do more actually here, because now we only get one. In Ramadan you get double. So now if you wanna, get up there, level. So you gotta keep going. Keep going. And like you're saying, Shaitan is out. You're gonna get more wiswas.
Yeah.
So try to be taqwa. Which doesn't only mean fearing of Allah. It's being mindful of Allah, being conscious of Allah. So have taqwa, because the more the heart thinks about Allah, the more you are free from these things. You are alive. It's like when you have that connection between you and Allah, that's when you are really alive. That's when your mind actually is really supposed to function the way it's supposed to, without all this ocean of jinns and shayateens playing with us. Yeah. And we have to stay persistent. Like these mosquitoes just try to bite at me. We gotta stay persistent. Like that's a good example. Look how big we are. Allah made us so great. We are so big compared to a mosquito. We are so intelligent. We have houses and we have this. Like we have so much to be grateful of. And just being grateful, Allah is a tool to be conscious of them, to be more mindful of them. And the more you do that, the more you build a wall, blockade from this. This is what I'm saying, from this Satan and this was and improving something. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter how much, how small it is, but improving something, like example, I've been trying to work on my anger. I used to, alhamdulillah, Allah just blessed me. I mean, I got much better, but from last Ramadan, I realized that I was getting angry faster. Like it's kind of not normal. I was getting angry. I was gonna give us, and some of the things actually is not something that's worth it. I mean, I do let things go because I'm a Muslim. I totally forgive and everything, but just the self-reflection upon my anger made me think a lot. I'm like, okay, well, this is something for me to work on, and everybody can do the same thing, because we all have some issues which we can improve. So, something like that, your anger, and that's one of the good ones actually. From a direct advice from me, because it was advice from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to a young man which asked advice repeatedly. I think it was thrice, and he kept saying the same thing, which was, do not get angry.
Yeah.
Sometimes not angry, you're going, Father, I say this. Don't say nothing, because if I say this, You're gonna say that, and you're gonna say that, and then we're gonna keep
gonna
going
escalate.
and let it go. But for what? For the sake of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala.
Yeah.
So you know, like you're saying, he put it all into good words. Really, like I said, I was just putting it into quotation. And you know, the best I can say is being mindful of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. That's when we are really alive, and that's when we really get peace of mind, and that's when our heart is alive.
So inshallah, we're going to conclude here, you know, whatever good that you heard, it is indeed by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His guidance. Whatever mistake that you heard, it is indeed from us and shaitan, nanatullah. And Allah, His messenger, is free from that. And we'll conclude here, subhanaka wa bihamdihi, ashhadu an la ilaha anta, واستغفرك واتوب اليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
دستورنا دستورنا القرآن، من يرتضي أن ينتمي لعدوه شيطان. دستورنا 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 القرآن، من يرتضي أن ينتمي لعدوه شيطان. وفداء أرواحنا وقتيله ريحان، وشهيدنا بدمائه في جنة الرضوان. وفداء أرواحنا وقتيله ريحان، وشهيدنا بدمائه في جنة الرضوان. وهداية لشعوبنا ولكفر